So the OG of the UFC, you were there when it was basically, people considered it a freak show.
Yeah, my first show was UFC 13. We still fought tournament style, so I fought twice that night. We had the weigh-ins, just to give you an idea how much it's changed. We had the weigh-ins for that show in the lobby at the Holiday Inn.
Wow.
And the only people that were there were our cornermen and the fighters on the card. So that was the first time actually getting to see the guys I was fighting. It wasn't like there was a lot of film where I could pull up footage and study them. It was just a lot different back then.
So you went in blind, essentially?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Why take the leap into the UFC? Did you think that that was going to turn into what it now
No
has
idea.
become?
I saw the sport on a VHS tape. I saw some other wrestlers I knew, Don Fry, Mark Coleman, guys I knew from the wrestling world. And I'm like, oh my God, it looks amazing. I got to try that. And literally entered and got in on a whim.
What were your friends and family saying?
My mom was scratching her head like, oh my God, you know, she thought I was crazy for sure.
What did you think of the way the McGregor fight ended?
You know, I have never met Conor. I don't know what kind of person he is really, and so until I meet him, I can't say what kind of person he is. But I'm not a fan of all the antics and the publicity stunts and whether they've gone wrong or right. I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
How much would somebody have to pay you to step in to the octagon
Step
now?
in to fight? Oh God. Oh man, I'm not sure I
that
can
was
even put a number on that.
I've never even been in like a small scuffle, much less like, I can't personally comprehend what it's like to be hit in that way or to be knocked out. What does that feel like?
Well, being knocked out is an interesting experience. You lose that little piece of time. 1 second you're there, next second the scenery's changed completely.
What have you learned, I guess, throughout all your years of fighting and watching the UFC grow and become what it is, and now with the PFL, what have you learned the most?
A lot of things I learned from wrestling. Walking out on that mat by myself in junior high school in my tights.
Did you with the suspender?
Singlet,
Yeah,
yep, absolutely. I think I got involved in the sport for all the wrong reasons. I've heard my whole life what a great wrestler my dad was and how tough he was, and I figured if I wrestled, then he'd pay attention, he'd come around. But he never saw me wrestle once. It didn't work out that way, but I found my calling. I found the thing I was good at, where I should be.
Did he ever make a comment to you about it, or that he was proud?
We reconnected later in life, in my 30s, when I started fighting. He moved down from Alaska. He lived up there most of my life, and started bringing him to fights. Kind of got to spend a little more time with him. He got to know my youngest a lot better than my two older kids, and I got to see him in that setting and get to know him a lot more than I ever got to know him before.
That little chip on your shoulder went a long way.
Yeah.
It's funny how that happens. If little you could look at yourself now, what would he say? Would he be surprised?
Yeah, maybe he would be surprised. All the fear and things that you deal with when you're young, and you just don't have a clear concept of you and who you are, or the rest of the world for that matter.
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm proud of the way I've represented my family and the way I've represented the sport of wrestling and the sport of MMA. I think that.
So with that being said, where do you want to see the PFL?
Well, I like that these guys just get to be themselves. They're in this, they signed up, they're going to turn around every 6 weeks and they're going to fight. They can talk smack or not talk smack. They can do just be themselves, and at the end of the day, they have to focus on the problem at hand, which is that guy standing across the cage from them, and how to solve that problem. It's as simple as that.
Just keeping it simple.
Yeah.
I'll say little 11-year-old you would be pretty proud.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a fun journey, that's for sure.
Is it true that it's not the destination but the journey?
Absolutely. I think it's one of the first things you learn is you learning to set goals. Saying, oh, I want to be a state champion, that rolls off the tongue pretty easily. But drawing that map, figuring out all the different steps in the way to get there, that's a bigger challenge, and that's what real goal setting is. And I managed to do that my senior year in high school. That basically set the foundation for all the other stuff that I was able to accomplish. And
you did not disappoint. Randy,
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great walk.
Good wine.
Good wine.